36 million households could benefit from a piece of legislation that both Republicans and Democrats are pushing. And did you know more than 61 million children could get a child tax credit here in the United States? And it could be pretty substantial. In 2022, this credit will only be $2,000 per child for the year. However, President Biden is giving in to Republicans' demands, and he is now open to the idea of including a working requirement to go along with this tax credit payment. This is good news because now he's willing to negotiate. So, if you have children, this could benefit you in a huge way. But if you don't, just be aware this is still going to impact you because there's going to be other legislation that is going to be tied to this. So first, let me explain what is going on. Back in 2021, Senate Republican Mitt Romney, he proposed a bill that would provide parents up to $4,200 per child between the ages of 0 and 6, and $3,000 per child between the ages of 6 and 17. Now, there are some major changes to this bill that were not passed previously when we did receive those $250 and $300 child tax credit payments per month. But there are some major changes that you need to be aware of. First, these payments, these will come out monthly. There will be $350 per month and $250 per month depending on your child's age. But here's where we're going to see many changes. And again, the negotiations are just starting. President Biden told Democrats just this past weekend to go and create a bill. So we're going to see if that even happens. But here's what some of the changes are. First off, there'd be an earned income tax credit cut. This would mean smaller yearly benefits for those lower income households. We would also see the head of household filing status. This would get eliminated, and each household would have to make over a certain amount of money to even qualify for this child tax credit payment. So here's where this is actually pretty big. And this is what's happening right now. President Biden is actually giving into what Senate Republican Mitt Romney wants. And he's now open to the idea of putting a minimum income along with this legislation. But that's what Senator Mitt Romney wants. It's different if you ask ask Democrats, because I will explain what President Biden actually instructed Democrats to do. Now first, under the Romney plan, each household would need to make over $10,000 per year in order to be eligible for this payment. But Democrats have said that would hurt the families in need of the credit the most. So they are pretty much excluding that. And those are the ones that don't make even $10,000 per year. So they're making less than $1,000 per month, and those are the ones that are going to feel the impacts of this bill the most. Now, here are the changes, and this is what is very important to understand because this is where that give and take is going to happen. First, this past weekend, we learned that President Biden told Democrats to put together a bill that included a work requirement. Now, according to the reports that have come out, this is going to include a provision that at least one person in the household is working. That's it. Just one person is working. There's no set amount as far as income. It doesn't mean if there's 20 people in a household, you only need one, right? It's just that one stipulation. Republicans wanted to push this to $4,200 per year as a credit. But in order to do that, it would cut into other programs. So here's where we're seeing all these changes. President Biden is open to the idea of a work requirement. However, it's the big one, he will not budge on the tax credit cuts, such as the earned income tax credit. Now, this is where negotiations are currently at. This is where they're starting. But what I can tell you is Republicans wanted to give $4,200 per year, which is a very substantial, very generous child tax credit because it's more than double what we are currently at $2,000. But, and this is the big one, is there had to be cuts to other programs. The earned income tax credit was one of them. The head of household, that was going to be eliminated. That head of household filing status was going to be eliminated. We could see other issues. We could see the child tax credit payment interfere with how much money you get for SNAP benefits. So that was another drawback that Democrats were just like, you know what? No, we cannot include that. So that's just part of it. Now, this is why I say if you do not have children, you need to be well aware of what's going on. And I say this because of a couple reasons. First, Democrats are going to have to give in to what Republicans want. Republicans are going to have to give in some way to get what Democrats want because, again, Republicans want something as well. Here's what's happening. Democrats will have to give in to Republicans and provide them with this corporate tax credit that they've been looking for, right? The research and development credits. And to even start the negotiations, the corporate tax credits have to be included. If they are not, Republicans will not even consider any legislation. That's part of the problem. So if corporations, and again, this is in a time when, according to Senator Bernie Sanders, he is saying large corporations are making record profits and now we're going to give them a corporate tax credit? Does that make any sense? Why would we give them a credit when they are attempting to lay off employees when they're having record-breaking profits? This makes absolutely no sense. We're just giving in to exactly what they want. But at the same time, in order for Democrats to get what they want, they have to give Republicans something. This is all that Republicans are asking for at this time. So we will see if this is even considered. But what I can tell you is President Biden has now opened the door and is giving in to what Republicans asked for. This means the door for the negotiations is open, the ideas are on the table, and we will have an answer very soon. As soon as we do, I promise, I will bring you all the latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.